So, what is a creative write? Alright, what's going on guys? My name is Jaden. Most people call me Jay or Bevs, and if you're new to the channel, so am I. It's my first video, so hope you guys enjoy it and get around it. So pretty much today, I'm gonna walk you through some tips on how to get out of a creative rut. Basically, a creative rut is a feeling where essentially you can't really put any ideas on a piece of paper. Usually you don't really want to create anyways, you're just not feeling up to it and you probably can't be bothered. The feeling sucks, like don't get me wrong, I'm currently experiencing a creative rut at the moment. Obviously with all the COVID lockdowns and everything like that, I'm kind of just not really wanting to create that much, but I thought I would test out some of these tips, and so far they've definitely worked a treat for me. So hopefully they can help you guys out, and yeah, help you guys out of your creative rut. Let's see how we go. All right, tip number one is to take a break. Now, taking a break is probably one of the most powerful things you can do when you're in a creative rut. Essentially, you're taking a break from actually doing anything creative. You're just taking a step back, whether you're working on a video or you've been taking a lot of photos. Essentially, just taking a step back to relax, do something completely different, and that is, yeah. Hang on one sec. My TV's on, so it's distracting me, so I'm going to turn it off. I'm back. Where was I? Oh yeah. So pretty much, as I said, going out and doing something that you usually wouldn't normally do, or going out and doing something that is not creating, whether it's going for a run or just playing video games. Obviously now you can't really catch up with friends or anything like that, besides going for a walk. But doing things like that is definitely a way to get out of a creative rut. For me, it's playing golf. When I'm out on the golf course, if I'm playing well, hopefully. Usually I tend to not think of anything to do with videography or photography, and that's probably one of the best things I can do to get my mind re-energized and refueled. As I said, being in a creative rut does suck, so taking a break, and whether it's a day, whether it's a week or a month, just taking that break is really, really powerful in getting back on track in creating. Tip number two is to try a new creative skill. So with this one, I find it pretty interesting, and I definitely think it's a really cool thing to do, is try something that you haven't really done before that is still in the creative industry, just not what you're used to. So if you're a photographer or a videographer, essentially you'd be doing something that is completely different to that, but you're still creating. So you could paint, you could draw, you could learn design. I think design's a really, really cool idea when you're in a creative rut, because you can play around with your photos and videos and add content to them, or add a new style to those photos and videos, and it can be really powerful, and it really enhance your work as well. And especially when you're going to clients, things like that, having a design background or design skills is really, really good and is an added bonus. Tip number three would be to give yourself a challenge. Now, this is sticking with the creative side and actually going out and creating, but this is more towards your photography or videography, whatever one you prefer. Essentially, so it's giving yourself a challenge. So if you're usually an urban photographer, go out and take landscape photos, or vice versa. If you're a videographer, maybe try and see if you can create a video with just one lens, or if you're stuck in a room, how to create an interesting video with nothing else but the room you're in. These challenges definitely help you think outside the box and really enhance your creativity and really get you inspired and hopefully get you out of that creative rut. Tip number four is to watch other people. Now, this one is definitely, you got to take this one with a bit of a, what's the saying? Take this one with a grain of salt. You got to take this tip with a grain of salt, because obviously watching too much of other people's work can get you down. You can compare yourself to other people, and that is not what we want. What we want is to get re-inspired and refueled. And as I said, watching other people, for me, scrolling through Instagram every now and then, saving a couple of photos that I like, or watching other YouTubers is really a powerful way for me to get inspired. Essentially, I'm taking techniques and tips that they use and incorporating in my work, and it's definitely a way to get inspired. For me, if I do have a brief from a client and they say, they want a certain type of video, the first thing I will do is go out and do my research. I'll research other creators, I'll research other videos in that industry just to see what is out there and see what inspiration I can draw back from. Now, obviously with this as well, you don't want to steal anyone's ideas, but you do have to remember that every idea has been done. So, but if you take an idea from here and another one from here and combine it, there you go. There's your new idea. So anyways, on to the fifth and final tip. Tip number 5 is similar to tip number 1. It's listening to music. I think listening to music is a really powerful way to get out of a creative rut. Just chilling back, relaxing, listen to some of your favorite songs. That will definitely get you re-inspired. It might make you think of a time where you were really creative, or a certain video or a certain road trip, and it definitely would re-inspire you. For me, I'm a big fan of tech house, like more of the afterlife sort of vibe. Not necessarily editing too much to those songs, but for me, they just generate a lot of inspiration just because the way the music is and the way it feels. I don't know, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but to me, it works a treat. Anyways, thank you all for watching today. Hopefully you get out of your creative rut sooner rather than later, and I really hope it did help. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. It's at j.bevs, and definitely stick around for the next one because it will be coming soon. So yeah. Oh yeah, and like, share, and subscribe. We've got to remember that one. Yeah, cheers.